What's up, XRP family? Thank you guys for joining the video for today. We have some interesting stuff to go through. So here we have Michael Barr on the turmoil in the crypto sector. I just want to be clear, it's important for us not to set up a regulatory environment that stifles innovation. Innovation is critical to the financial sector. It's critical to the economy. Now, this is exactly why, guys, this whole lawsuit doesn't make sense from the beginning. Do you really think that they would actually stifle Ripple, something that is really groundbreaking technology, and stifle it? But it's so critical. Like, why do you think that they did all of this? And it's very interesting because we're also going to see something, the theory about Elon Musk setting up a future for Twitter which integrates with Ripple, XRP, which is actually said by himself, not XRP. He says he names it X.com. But what can it be, guys? What else is there that is with an X and is actually has the technology that Ripple has? There is none, right? So it has to be Ripple. So let's take a look at this video first.
Outside the banking sector, I have to ask you about the turmoil in the crypto sector. What's your view on that vis-a-vis financial regulation on everything we've been seeing happening?
Well, I think, Michael, it's a pretty good example of what happens when you have firms that are trying to set themselves up to avoid a regulatory structure. You know, we have very well-established rules for exchanges. We have well-established rules for custody. We have well-established rules with respect to anti-fraud measures. We have rules about lending out customer funds or using customer funds. So, you know, if we had a regulatory system that was applying fully at full force to that sector, I think that, you know, we would have had the ability to minimize some of those risks that we saw. Now, thankfully, the risks to the core of the financial system have been pretty muted in the aggregate. There aren't today tight linkages between the financial sector and the crypto sector at a very large level. We have some small sets of interactions with the traditional banking system where there might be risks, but not at a broad scale. And so I think it's really important as we go forward in thinking about regulation of crypto-related assets and activities that we think about those risks. I also want to be clear at the same time, Michael, it's important for us not to set up a regulatory environment that stifles innovation. Innovation is really critical to the financial sector. It's critical to the American economy. It's one of the reasons we have an amazingly vibrant economic system, is because we permit, encourage, allow that kind of innovation. And so we've got to get the balance right. We have to have really good guardrails so that investors and consumers are protected, so that the safety and soundness of the financial system is protected. And then we need to let innovation flourish within those guardrails so that we don't lock in old technology.
So again, guys, that's why the lawsuit is taking this long, almost 2 years right now. So don't think that they won't let Ripple succeed. Don't think that they will push Ripple away. They will not do that, guys. They will not let Ripple go to another country and set up everything there. They will not let that happen. This is just, they're just taking time so that they can actually build a good foundation. And also what happened with FTX is just to accelerate CBDCs, guys. It's just another thing that they let happen so that they can have an excuse, so that they can build foundations. Be ready, citizens. I found a link that connects X.com original vision with Ripple W3C. This will be covered in my Lighthouse Report edition. I found some things from 10 years ago and I'm going to release the Kraken. Now, we are waiting for this, about what this person is going to release. Here is a video of Elon Musk talking about X.com. Listen very, very carefully what he's saying, guys. This is not just some thing that he just came up with, right? This is something that is definitely related to XRP. The best technology in finance is right now is Ripple, right? All the banks are using Ripple. So let's take a look.
There's a product plan I wrote, which I wish I'd kept a copy of in July of 2000, where I thought it would be possible to make the most valuable financial institution in the world. And we're going to execute that plan from 22 years ago, which amazingly no one has done. And so I think that's part of why I think Twitter will be ultimately extremely valuable, because I'm going to execute the X.com game plan from 22 years ago with some improvements. And then we're also going to obviously make Twitter just a way better system. There's
a way better system. Now imagine, Twitter is very big, guys. Now the only thing that Twitter can which can improve in Twitter, like the most important thing, is actually the finance, right? Connecting payments. Imagine that. Imagine seeing something in Twitter and you can pay someone instantly with settlement as well, right? How is that possible? That's only possible with the current XRP system. So here he actually shows Twitter plus payments, x.com. Here we can see encrypted DMs, long form, relaunch blue verified payments. So he's going to integrate payments 100%. It's going to happen. Where does the bird fly to next? Cryptocurrency and payment integrations, global payments utopia, x.com vision, right? Here again. So the thing is, you have to think like this. You really think he's going to implement Dogecoin? He's not going to do that, guys. He's not stupid. He's not going to put some meme in such an important company, and it's just not going to happen. Let's see what December brings. Now remember this famous bearable kind of picture, which is actually, if you look, it's actually it hints on the December kind of period, right? And a lot of people say that that's why December is so important, guys, and a lot of things can happen. Timing is everything, right? So Mr. Pool actually is very active these couple of days. Here you can see, guys, MUFG joins Ripple Global Payment Steering Group. Here he says engage, and here we can see Japan's MUFG Bank engages with CLS-FX settlement service. This is Forex, guys. This is instant settlement service. Here you can see that they partnered up back 2 years ago, and now 2 years later they're actually implementing this into their systems in making payments. This is all proof, guys. This is not speculation, right? Here you can see this picture is the partnership, and the right picture is recently, right? It's a tweet. So don't think that we're just talking here about nonsense, guys. This is serious stuff. This is the biggest wealth transfer that is going to happen, and if you don't do anything, you are going to regret that, guys. So be sure to do your research, because this is very, very important. So I have another thing here about Clayton. Look how Clayton warns against buying tokens offshore, and then how hesitant he is to respond to the question about the future of Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? And he also gives some kind of hint that there's going to be another winner in the space.
And I hope people heeded that. I hope they didn't, use their credit card to buy some kind of offshore token without really, really, really thinking about it.
What do you think has to happen from your vantage point for a Bitcoin or an Ethereum to actually be a regulated, or whether you think I imagine you think it ultimately has to be regulated, but what would have to happen? Give me your sort of 5 years out, what's supposed to happen if this is supposed to be a real thing?
Look, I think what is the use case? What's the permanent use case for anything, right? That's how you look at it.
What's the use case, right? He emphasizes the use case part here. Well, the use case, guys, if it's about use case, we know that Ripple and XRP have the best use case in the world.
Investment.
That would suggest that actually 5 years from now we wouldn't necessarily be talking about this, because we just talked about how a commodity, we could say, is a real thing. Unless you're saying you think you're
You asked me where something is in the future. Look, I'm going to be philosophical with you.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I think you know that I love markets. You know that I love ingenuity. I'm not going to take credit for this, but one of the wonderful things about America is if there's a new technology, we pour an incredible amount of energy and capital into it, and it's a race to figure out what the best use for that technology is. And there are lots of failures and there's some successes, but anybody who predicts with certainty where that race is going to end and who is going to emerge, I want to meet them, because I can tell you that I thought, and I'll say this because I thought that what was it, Webvan?
Yeah.
I thought Webvan was going to be a great idea and Amazon was not so smart. That shows you how good I am, right? But there was this incredible race to use data and information to provide delivery. Webvan, does anybody remember Webvan besides me? Yeah. I mean, failed.
Right.
Great idea, failed. Amazon, similar idea, different space. So great success.
So where do you put this space? And what I am asking though is, in terms of if you were an investor thinking about this space, the crypto space, and specifically the currency space, let's call it for now. Let's take ICOs out of it for a second.
Well, now you're out of my regulation, right? But you're taking out of the security space.
Crazy, guys. So you can see Jake Layton, when the lawsuit was actually when the lawsuit happened, he immediately was not in charge anymore, which is very weird as well. Thank you very much for watching this video, guys. See you in the next one. Cheers.